dhimi takka jhanu, dhimi takka jhanu, takka dhimi takka jhanu, dhimi takka jhanu, takka dhimi takka jhanu, takka dhimi takka jhanu, talanku takka tikku takka tadingina tomta, tarita dhanata, dhanata jhanuta, jhanuta dhimi tha tha thai kartakata, tarita dhanata, dhanata jhanuta, jhanuta dhimi tha tha thai kartakata, dhana ta jhanu ta dhimi ta kita ta dhana ta jhanu ta dhimi ta kita dhit tam ta dhit tam taka dikku kirtakata rigadom dhit tam ta dhit tam taka dikku kirtakata rigadom ta dhit tam ta dhit tam taka dikku kirtakata rigadom tham. How many of you cringed in your seats watching what I just did and thought, yuck, what is this guy doing? Anybody? No? Okay, then how many of you thought, this is beautiful, it's aesthetic, it's something I can watch, I'm curious to know more? Thank you. I have one more question. Then why are there so few professional male dancers in Bharatanatyam? The answer is you. When I say you, a society that put Bharatanatyam into a box that was labeled for girls only. Let me tell you my story. We are two brothers and a sister. My sister attended a Bharatanatyam class. My brother and I, we were the escorts to and from home. We waited outside the class till she finished and brought her back home. One day, our teacher, Srimati Airavati Naidu, she looked beyond the girls. She looked beyond the walls. She came outside and she said, "Why don't you boys join too?" Now, I was 8 years old. In my world, what did boys do? We played cricket, we ran around on the streets, we did math. But dance was not something boys would do, especially Bharatanatyam. In an entire school of 1,500 students, we didn't have a single male Bharatanatyam dancer. So if I joined, I was going to become an anomaly. But the courage of two women changed everything. A teacher who believed that this art form needed to grow, and she wanted us to be a part of that growth. And one mother who decided that day to break a stereotype and send both her sons to a Bharatanatyam class. These women became the first catalysts who propelled change in my life. 2 years later, our teacher moved to the US, so my mother had to scout around for another teacher, and she found Guru Srimati Padmini Ramachandran, a spectacular actress, a dynamic personality, a giant in the field of Bharatanatyam. She belonged to the Vaduvur style of Bharatanatyam, a style, a bani, which created incredible movie stars and Bharatanatyam dancers of that generation. So all of you might think I joined a dance class and I learned Bharatanatyam. No, you're wrong. We live in times where the ancient Guru Sishya Parampara of our Indian knowledge systems, the way they were handed down, is fading. It's only in the creative arts that you still see it alive. So what is this Guru Sishya Parampara? It's a sacred bond, a connection built across many years, decades, between the teacher and the taught. And it continues. Let me give you a few examples. I'm sure you've heard of Dronacharya and Arjuna, iconic in the Mahabharata. Yes? A more recent, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and the great Vivekananda. You know the impact it created, that teacher and student. In the dance field, Birju Maharaj was trained by Lachu Maharaj, Shambhu Maharaj and Achan Maharaj. Bharat Ratna Bhimshan Joshi and his great guru Savai Gandharva. And of course, we all know our beloved Yeshudas. He spent decades training under the great Chembai Vaidyanatha Bhagavatar. You got the point. For 25 years, I sat at her feet, learning not just Bharatanatyam. She taught me beyond the Natya Shastra. She taught me Artha Shastra. I'd like to call it, she taught me the Atma Shastra, a union of the body, the mind, and the soul. It's not just Bharatanatyam. How did she do it? Let me give you a few instances. It was December 1996. On 13th December, my teacher's husband passed away. We had a show on the 16th of December, 2 days later. A few days before he passed away, she went to the puja room, she called me, and she handed me her Nattuvangam. Symbols that the teacher used to conduct a program. It's the most powerful instrument which holds the rhythm of the entire orchestra and the dancer. And she said, Mithun, you conduct this program. The show must go on. I was 14. She taught me delegation. She taught me responsibility even before those words were part of my lexicon. 1998 March. It was 1 month after the deadly Coimbatore bomb blast. In March, we had a program there. After the show, we went to the railway station. All the compartments were shut due to security reasons. My teacher requested the station master to open one compartment so that we could rest inside. He obliged. We got into a dark compartment. She took out a small pencil torch. She handed it to me and she said, Mithun, go right down all the way to 72 and check if there's a bomb inside. I took that pencil torch, without a single word, went looking. Below the birds, above the birds, I found some cockroaches. I came back, I said, no danger, ma'am. I'm sure she laughed inside, but she knew what she had taught me. I was 16. What would I know? 2000 September, my teacher had to travel abroad for a performance tour. She handed me her class of 30 students and said, you handle this class in my absence. One condition, when I come back, I need all 30 of them there and they should be better than what I'm leaving you. I was the most sincere I could be in those classes. I wanted to ensure nobody left. I gave personal attention. I taught with all my soul. I carry those principles even today when I am in a class. So it was not just Bharatanatyam. My teacher, Guru Srimati Padmini Ramachandran, became the most influential catalyst of my life. She protected my essence and my individuality, but opened up horizons for me to explore. By the way, Bharatanatyam is a solo dance form, primarily. But for the longest time, I performed as a trio with my brother and my sister. Life happened, my sister got married, she moved away, my brother settled abroad. And suddenly, I was standing alone. The warmth that flanked me from either sides had moved away. I felt awkward. I felt uncomfortable. I was not prepared to go on stage. Fast forward to 2011, the Margadi season at Chennai Music Academy. I was part of the audience watching superstars of Bharatanatyam presenting their best on stage. One acquaintance, who's also a revered dance critic, walked up to me. He knew me. And he said, Mithun, what are you doing here in the audience? You should be on that stage. Why are you not performing solo? I came up with a million excuses to not go on that stage. At that time, he said something very important. It was an impromptu conversation. He said, Mithun, the population of the world right now is 7 billion at that time. 1.2 billion in our country. 2 lakh classical dancers, out of which about 1 lakh, because Bharatanatyam was very popular, about 1 lakh Bharatanatyam dancers. Out of that, we have 200 male Bharatanatyam dancers, approximately. Out of which, there are hardly 5 from the Vazhavur Bani of Bharatanatyam, a style that defined grace and vigor, and from the legacy of the great Bharatashikaram Padmini Ramachandran. You are the only male Bharatanatyam dancer. That man became the third catalyst of my life because he made me realize that statistically I was impossible. Culturally, I was an endangered species. And personally, I was running out of excuses. Because I thought, if not now, then when? If not me, then who? I came back from Chennai to Bangalore and I did the scariest thing. I had a corporate job at that time and I quit. It was a 12-hour job, very good salary package. To the shock of my family, to the shock of my bank account, to the shock of myself, I wanted to know what I could do. It took me 15 years to take a small little dance class that I was used to run on the side with just 15 students to an institute of 560 students today. Remember, this is not an academic institute. It's a co-curricular institute. I wanted to create an ecosystem of artists where we could pursue art in a lucrative manner. An ecosystem that sustained itself. I kept doing it. I didn't know what to call it. I used to keep thinking until the Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji himself, gave me a term. Atmanirbhar. That's what I was looking for. So I identified talents. There's this boy who used to take fantastic photos on his phone. Today, he heads the media solutions of my institute. There's this girl student who created excellent reels for her personal Instagram page. Guess what she is now? The social media professional of my institute. One of my disciples with a fantastic commerce background is the financial head of my institute. Makeup, costuming, stage decor, you name it. It became all an internal affair where artists could self-sustain themselves. Without having to depend for money on an external source. Atmanirbhar. So now, am I a catalyst? Let us watch these few slides. That is me. When I got an opportunity to perform alongside the dream girl, the outstanding actress and dancer and MP, Srimati Hema Malini ji, and that is Isha Diol, her daughter. This is me acting with Kangana Ranaut and Raghava Lawrence in the movie Chandramukhi 2. These are my precious photos with the Honorable President Draupadi Murmu ji and our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji after a performance of Shivoham, which was choreographed by Dr. Ananda Shankar Jayant. And that is me receiving the highest award for artists of our country, given by the Sangeet Natak Academy, the Ustad Bismillah Khan Yuva Puraskar. From an escort who took my sister up and down, I have reached this award. And these are press clippings of a team of male dancers of my institute. The boys who love to sway, Gandharvas impressed with their vigor and vibrance, spotlight on stereotypes. These dancers, these male dancers, break stereotypes one day at a time, one show at a time. There's another team that I'm very proud of. A group of working mothers who pursue their passion despite professional commitments. The Janani team of my institute. Now, what do these slides show? The power of one. Please remember, you are one in 8.2 billion. And a few days before this talk, I was at the Music Academy stage. I performed as a soloist. Thank you.